There are moments in life when a single truth cracks open everything a person believes about power, privilege, and consequence. Moments when life refuses to bend, even for those who think the world exists to cushion their mistakes. Moments when a courtroom becomes the only place left where reality finally catches up. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you are watching from. We would love to see how far this conversation is reaching. It is 1:45 p.m. on a rainy Monday afternoon in Providence Municipal Court, the kind of rain that feels heavy enough to flatten emotions and expose nerves. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench, flipping through a case file that makes him stop breathing for half a second. It is not often that a document alone makes him close his eyes, inhale, and brace for what is coming. He does not know that the young man about to enter the courtroom believes. He is immune to the rules everyone else must follow. The door to the courtroom swings open with the confidence of someone who has never heard the word no. Brandon Walsh, 23 years old, son of Police Commissioner Daniel Walsh, walks in with an arrogance that sticks to the air like smoke. His designer hoodie looks like it costs more than a month's rent for most people in the room. His gold chains flash under the harsh fluorescent lights. His walk is not hurried. It is not respectful. It is a performance. Following close behind is Catherine Murphy, the department's top attorney. Clutching a briefcase packed with legal arguments she already knows she will not be able to use the way she hoped. She watches Brandon with a tightness in her expression that reveals she has been dreading this day. Brandon does not acknowledge anyone. He scrolls on his expensive phone, laughing softly at something on the screen. It is as if the courtroom exists purely as background decoration. The bailiff calls the case. Case number 2025 CR 6789, State of Rhode Island versus Brandon Walsh. A ripple travels through the gallery. People lift their heads. Phones are lowered. Someone whispers, "That is the commissioner's kid." The charges echo across the room. Vehicular assault, leaving the scene of an accident. Obstruction of justice. Judge Caprio looks up at Brandon. "Mr. Walsh, please step forward and put your phone away." Brandon lifts his eyes slowly, as if annoyed that his game has been interrupted. "Seriously? Can this wait? I have people to meet. The disrespect is deliberate. A test. A show of untouchability, Mr. Walsh," Judge Caprio says, this time with a firmness that cuts the air in two. "Put the phone away now." Brandon rolls his eyes and slams it into his pocket. "Fine, just make this quick. I do not have all day." The judge studies him for a long, silent moment. "Mr. Walsh, do you understand the charges against you?" Brandon shrugs as though the question is beneath him. "Look, Judge, there is obviously a mix-up. My father is Commissioner Walsh. He runs every guy in uniform in this state. I'm sure we can work out whatever misunderstanding this is." The courtroom freezes. The temperature seems to drop. Judge Caprio opens the police report. "Mr. Walsh, these charges originate from an incident on December 8th at 2:30 a.m. Tell me what you were doing on Elmwood Avenue at that hour." Brandon leans back lazily. "Driving home from a party. Having a good time. Nothing illegal about that." The judge's eyebrow lifts almost imperceptibly. "Nothing illegal? Mr. Walsh, are you aware that your blood alcohol level was .19? Brandon waves his hand dismissively. "Those machines are garbage. Besides, I can handle myself. I have been drinking since high school. I know my limits." The judge continues reading. "According to Officer Rodriguez, you were traveling 75 miles per hour in a 35-mile zone when you struck Mr. James Patterson's motorcycle. Explain what happened." A flicker passes through Brandon's smug expression. "That guy came out of nowhere. Rain, darkness, whatever. He should not have been riding a bike in bad weather. The judge's voice softens, the way a voice softens just before it becomes steel. Mr. Patterson is a 45-year-old nurse. A father of 3? He was driving home after helping save lives during his night shift. Brandon shrugs again, careless, unbothered. That is unfortunate, but accidents happen. That is why people have insurance. The gallery gasps. The judge continues. After the collision, what did you do? Brandon shifts. The first sign of discomfort. Everything was chaotic. I was shocked. I needed to clear my head. The judge turns another page. Witnesses state that you stepped out of your car, looked at Mr. Patterson lying on the pavement, and then got back in your vehicle and drove 3 miles to a diner. Brandon's voice spikes. They are lying. I was confused. I needed coffee. I was processing. Judge Caprio reads, Officer Rodriguez found you laughing with friends and ordering more food. Does that reflect someone in shock? Brandon stammers. I process things differently. What did you tell Officer Rodriguez when she approached you? A long pause stretches. Brandon finally mutters, I told her there was a mix-up. Told her she should call my dad before making any mistakes. The room erupts in whispers. Judge Caprio silences them. You told her to call your father. I was trying to help her, Brandon snaps. People like her do not understand the chain of command. My father could ruin her career if she stepped out of line. The judge's face darkens. When she attempted to arrest you, you made threats. What exactly did you say? They were not threats, Brandon barks. They were facts. My dad runs the police force. One phone call and the judge cuts him off. Mr. Walsh, when backup officers arrived, you told them, and I quote, you cannot arrest me. I am untouchable. You will be dead cops if you put cuffs on me. Is that correct? Brandon's composure shatters. I was upset. I was explaining reality. Reality, the judge repeats quietly. The moment hangs heavy. Mr. Walsh, do you truly believe you are untouchable because of your father's position? Brandon stands abruptly, eyes blazing. Yes, that is exactly what I believe. My family keeps this city standing. You work for us? My dad could have you removed from this bench with one call. The courtroom explodes with voices. Bailiff, Judge Caprio says, rising slowly. Arrest Mr. Walsh for contempt. Brandon panics. No, you cannot touch me. I have immunity. He fights as the bailiffs grab him, shouting threats, slamming his fist into the air, knocking over a chair. You will all pay. My father will ruin your careers. The judge waits until Brandon is handcuffed and breathing heavily. For vehicular assault resulting in permanent injury, the judge says clearly, I sentence you to 6 years in state prison. Brandon freezes. 6 years? For an accident? For leaving the scene, I had 3 more. 9 years? His voice cracks. For obstruction and threats toward officers, 2 more. Brandon's bravado collapses into terror. 11 years. Please, please. For contempt of court, 2 additional years and permanent revocation of your driving privileges. Brandon begins to cry openly. 13 years. I cannot do 13 years. Please, I will apologize. I will pay anything. No, the judge says. You spent this entire hearing insisting you are above the law. Now you will learn that you are not. Brandon makes one last attempt. Call my father. He will explain everything. The judge picks up his phone and dials. The courtroom holds its breath. Commissioner Walsh, the judge says. Your son believes he is untouchable because of your position. Silence. Then the judge nods. Yes, sir. I understand. Thank you. Brandon waits for salvation. Instead, He receives devastation. Your father has asked that I give you the maximum sentence allowed. He said you have embarrassed your family and endangered others, and that badges do not protect those who harm innocent people. Brandon collapses into himself 10 years later. The world looks different. In a quiet prison visiting room. Brandon sits across from James Patterson, the man whose life he nearly destroyed. Patterson walks with a cane now. Each step is a reminder of a night that changed 2 lives forever. I did not expect you to visit. Brandon says quietly, I wanted to see if prison changed you. Patterson replies, I also wanted to say that I have forgiven you. Brandon's eyes fill with tears. I do not deserve that. What have you learned? Patterson asks. Brandon takes a long breath. I learned that thinking you are untouchable is a prison of its own. I learned that my father's badge never belonged to me. I learned that strength comes from taking responsibility, not avoiding it. What will you do when you are released? I want to help victims of drunk driving. I want to warn young people who think privilege protects them. I want to do something that matters. Patterson studies him. Your father still visits? Every month, Brandon says softly. He tells me the truth. The truth about the people I hurt, the trust I broke, the years I wasted. But he also tells me I can change if I choose to. Patterson stands and offers a small, tired smile. Then make the choice. As he leaves, Brandon sits alone, realizing that life will always give a person a chance to rewrite their story. But never without demanding honesty first. If stories of justice, accountability, and redemption resonate with you, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. These stories remind us that real strength comes from facing consequences, not escaping them.